All right. My friends out there in whole headland.
For those of you who are able to read lips, now we welcome you formally to Taco Tuesday. It is a taco stand where we are ironically sitting, and we're kind of saying the same thing I was just saying before, but without any sound. So hopefully you're able to hear what's going on. Yeah, thanks, Dustin. Appreciate you. I'm a dope. Anyway, beers open, this and that. Okay, registration is what we're talking about. We got gear all over the country because we have majors all over the country, but we have a new major to tell you about in a little while. But registration for the upcoming majors, which are put out there now and on sale for the next few months at AmericanCornhole.com. This is pretty cool news.
I love it. It's great news. Finn, it's all about just kind of making it easier for our players and stuff like that. But online registration, there is only one price these days. It goes up through the Sunday midnight prior to the major weekend. It's only $40 for singles, $80 for a doubles team, and the rest of the pricing all staying the same as well. So You do not have that early bird special. You do not have that discounted price. Or on the early bird side, it's one price.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about beating the clock or doing this. So here it is. Women, seniors, and co-eds. 50% payout remains the same. It's all based on the online registrations 2 Sundays prior to the event, and we're simplifying the rest of it. As Frank was saying, singles, now online registration at the regular cost plus the fees is now going to close on the Sunday before the event. That's it. So singles, $40 on site at the door. $60, doubles $80 on site at the door, $120. Women, seniors, co-ed, $30 on site at the door, $40. Juniors, free in advance, free on site at the door as well. So this is a structure that should save you some money and create less confusion. We'll do a little need to know program about this and put it out there later this week or maybe next week just for a little bit more information. But spread the word. That's a pretty cool adjustment to the online registration program. And hopefully it'll make things easier for you to understand and as far as deadlines go and that sort of thing, and also get registered for the majors. Speaking of majors and speaking of players and speaking of success, we're going to get to the Lake Charles results here in just a moment. But how about Haley Clark making it into the top 10?
Top 10, baby.
Master Chef Generations representing Gen Z. Here's to you, Haley.
Nice job, girl.
Nicely done. Top 10, well done. And now she got done just in time to get back for season 20. Saw her quite a bit on the stream at Lake Charles. She and Neil, congratulations, Haley. Well done. Big things coming your way, I do believe, as a result of that opportunity. Not the least of which is being part of the Cornhole Cookbook, which apparently some of the recipes that you put through are going to be making it into this book, which is going to be released first part of the year at Walmart. So more details to come on how you can get that. And there might still be time for you to sneak a recipe in there.
We'll find out. Did the deadline end already?
Yeah, the deadline
still a little time.
Came and went, but we're going to check and see if there's some others that might be able to sneak in there. So if you still got a tailgating recipe or something they use that kills at all your cornhole parties, stay tuned because we'll get that out there if we can extend that for you. Speaking of winners, again, how about our early registration, which we just said there is no such thing as, but there's still the first 50 and the first 100 to register for a major. Right. You still have an opportunity to win a set of mystery bags this week for the mystery bag winners for Bryan, Texas, Drew Waking of Illinois, and Seinfeld Altman of Missouri. So how about that?
That's great, man.
Those bags are on the truck, and you will be awarded those when you get there. The survey winner from Lake Charles, Floyd Sanderson of Mississippi. I know he knows the ninja. Floyd Sanderson, congratulations, and thank you for filling out that survey. We appreciate you. And now let's get to the rest of the winners. We told you we brought down the house. That Capital One building came down at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, and saw a little bit of video, saw some cool drone footage as well. If you have video of it that you took yourself, would love to see some of that because the drone footage and everything is very cool, but it almost looked like Hollywood.
Somehow, William Howe manufactured the boom on this part of the country, right?
He's going to get credit for this implosion, but very cool. And I looked it up to figure out why were they taking a building down that looked like it still had some years left to give in it. But apparently, during all the hurricanes that swept through the area in 2020, it did irreparable damage to the structural integrity of the building. So it's taken this long to be able to get that through, and they dropped it on Saturday just before we got started. So how about that? And speaking of dropping, let's drop some results on you right now. How about women's singles? I do believe this was one of Philip's picks. The newly engaged Kelsey Hyder, congratulations, took out Dana Vivolo. I saw that match on the stream. In senior singles, Johnny Thomas, I do believe Phil got that one right as well. I think, I don't know if he had this doubles team together because I don't know if he picked them because I don't know if they actually were a doubles team at the time. But Nicole Jones and Parker Burgett, nicely done. And in quads, it was CBC, another win, and they took down TNT to take down the Bagmaster quads. In junior singles, Parker Burgett again took down Colton Barrett. I saw a little bit of that match as well. Congratulations, Parker. Chase Puckett and Terry Amos took down the big blind draw
Terry Amos
to wrap up the night. How about that?
Nice.
And then world doubles, we had 3 different tiers that played besides the main bracket winners. The winners bracket. What is that noise?
Oh,
is that your phone?
It's not.
Is there somebody's alarm is going off somewhere?
That's what I kept thinking. It was mine, but sorry about that, boss.
It's making me nuts. Oh, it's mine.
Hang
on a second. Sorry about that.
I kept looking at my phone thinking, is that mine?
Why is it doing that? Anyway, bottom line is that was mine. If you could hear that, I apologize. It was making me nuts. Tier 4 or Tier 5, Nikki Sanderson. Congratulations on grabbing Tier 5. Tier 4, Sandra Segura. Congratulations on grabbing Tier 4. Preston Hollis took down singles in Tier 3. And Dana Vivolo took down Tier 2 in singles. We'll get to our world singles champion here in a moment, but let's talk about Tier 4, 3, and 2 in doubles. Kaz Barkley and Henry Brewer took down Tier 3. Tier 4, it was Joel Marmo and Stetson Smith. And in Tier 2, I did those out of order. I apologize. Randy Schoeneman and Eric Morris, congratulations on Tier 2. So taking the entire doubles division, Sebastian Barger and Larry Young. And that's an ad hoc team. Is that who Sebastian was taking as his doubles partner?
I don't know. I don't know if that's his new partner this year. I think it might be, but I'm not positive of that. We'll have to figure that out soon enough. That's great to hear.
Yeah, I felt like maybe I felt like Sebastian said maybe he was partnered with somebody else. Nevertheless, the bottom line is the common denominator on that pick was Sebastian Barger. Took down Parker Burgett and Jax Lomatan. So congratulations.
I love what I'm hearing. A lot of names that I haven't necessarily heard before up in these winner circles and stuff like that. And Finn, I think that this tier thing, I've heard from players already that they're liking it. I mean, they're liking what this tier program is doing for us this year.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so if you're watching and you got comments, bring them. I'm monitoring over here. But we're going to be wrapping this thing up pretty quickly before the sun goes down and we disappear completely. World singles, and this was, I do believe, Phil's pick as well. Dustin Arant, nicely done. He took down Chase Hollis and took the singles, so he's got his first purple jersey of the season. But and then you talk about those.
Did he have the double dip too, though?
I think he did. I think he had the double dip. I think and he ran. I think he ran 11 straight wins out of the losers bracket to get there to do that double dip. So nicely done. But Chase Hollis in third place, Ashton Watkins, Parker Burgett, Larry Young, and Brandon Lacewell. Another name that he's very high on this coming week, which you'll find out in time to fill. And you'll hear some of the usual suspects in his picks for Bryan, Texas, but you will also hear some names that you may or may not be all that familiar with as well. So stay tuned for that as we wrap things up. We're going to wrap up the upcoming majors with your announcement of a new city that we're going to be going to here in a moment. But just we have Legends this week just outside of Texas A&M, College Station, Bryan, Texas, all sorts of ways to position it. But Legends, Texas, and Jonathan Zarzinski and the crew are going to be there to call the action from the Legends Center, which is an awesome place. The 20th and 21st, the Toledo Glass City Center is going to be our home. That's the first of 2 majors there this season. Chicago SoFi in Chi-Town is going to be 27 and 28 of September, as is Atlantic City, the Showboat Hotel, where we were last year, right there on the boardwalk next to the ocean, I think. So, yeah. Very cool stuff.
Little warmer possibly this year because we were, I think it was like November. I believe we were there last year. A little cold on the boardwalk. So players going out to Atlantic City are going to get to experience that ocean.
And you might get to see a little bit more activity along the boardwalk as well. I think we got there right as everything had shut down for the season. It was a very cool vibe, but with people rolling up and down the boardwalk, which is the cleanest boardwalk I've ever seen in my entire life, by the way. But check it out. There's that huge indoor water park that is at the Showboat Hotel. Very cool opportunity. There's a lot of cool little bars and restaurant things that you can do, game rooms, all kinds of fun stuff. The Showboat literally lives up to its name. It is truly a showboat. So that's the 27th and 28th as well. Then we all gather together for the first Pro Series event of the season, and I do believe we will be awarding a King's Ring at that event.
That's the plan. It's being crafted and molded right now. It's not molded. What do they do with the melting?
No, it's a mold. They
mold?
Put it in a mold, in a ring mold. Yeah, it is. But that ring for our king, Isaac Hurt, will be presented at that major. So we're looking forward to that being a huge first Pro Series and Pro Series Skins major. So look forward to having you with us at Spooky Nook in Hamilton, October 4th and 5th. And then the 11th and 12th, we're double dipping again. And these two, they're about 1,000 miles apart. If you're from this part of the country, from the Midwest to the East, you think they're right next to each other. That's not the case.
Not at all, man.
No. Salt Lake City, Utah, and Medford, Oregon. So you got your choice. And if you're fast, you can go to Friday and play in one, and maybe Saturday and play in the other. But we have a feeling you're going to pick one and stick with one. But we'll tell you more about Salt Lake City. In fact, I think we're going to get a little segment with some folks from Salt Lake City in an upcoming Need to Know segment, so you can learn about more what to do in Salt Lake City. And, of course, Medford, Oregon. A lot of you met our friends from Medford at the World Championships. They're very excited to be hosting us twice this season as well. All of this, of course, in service to the Journey to the Worlds in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Who will be our Tulsa King or our first ever ACO Queen and Tulsa Queen? We don't know. But now let's talk a little bit about this new major that just got added to the schedule, because I know some folks were bummed out that we lost the facility, but it got bought and it's being remodeled in Panama City Beach. But that doesn't mean Florida's out of the picture.
Yeah, I got a feeling some of our Alabama players are going to be happy with this, because they bombarded us when we were in Panama City Beach. But Finn, exactly right. We loved Panama City Beach. Great location, right near the water. We were trying to come up with another hot new spot. Couldn't quite find the spot that fit the bill in Panama City Beach. So went up the road just a little bit to a place near Destin called Fort Walton Beach.
Oh yeah.
Man. We found a great little location. It is not a Knoxville Convention Center. It is going to be a nice little spot for us to run at. Going to be kind of fun and tight like Panama City Beach. It's only 1.5 miles from the beautiful beaches of Destin.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that is going to be in?
It's going to be November.
So it's
first
coming up.
And second.
Yeah, so we'll have more information on tickets and everything else. The contracts just got finalized. They were excited to have the ACO in Fort Walton Beach. So early November, make your plans. You can extend your summer just a little bit longer.
And I believe there's 2 great hotels. Both of them are brand new near the facility we're at. I think one is a Home to Suites and one is a Holiday Inn, I believe, Express. We'll get the details out on that here very shortly. But again, November 1st and 2nd, we have now added an amazing major down there in Florida again.
I love it. And JT, I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought Sebastian was going to be partnering with Bryce Jefferson. That's who he was talking about. So now this is an interesting thing to know, because Sebastian and Larry have earned points together. But now when Sebastian and Bryce play, the points they earn together, they will be separate sets of points.
Right.
I don't know that everybody understands that, but when we talked about advancing 2 pros into the main bracket, people were asking about that. So yeah, if you've earned your doubles points with 2 different partners, those are split with that partner. So you do not carry over if you are the common denominator pro in that. So we'll watch for Sebastian and Bryce coming up very soon at a major near you. But congratulations to Sebastian and Larry Young for taking down doubles in Lake Charles.
So that
Louisiana.
is a fact that Sebastian and
Bryce are partnering up in season 20. It just didn't happen this particular week.
Bryce has already got his work cut out for him, because sure enough, Sebastian and Larry figured it out.
Yeah. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure on you, baby.
Bryce, no big deal. And then Steve Duncan wants to know about the ACO Europe majors. And you know what? It's worth talking about that right now, because here's the way that this is going to work. And correct me if I'm wrong the way I'm explaining this. March, just as it was this year, is going to be an ACO Europe major. Daniel Lilly, they're putting everything, all the final details together March. But this night time down in Manchester, in Birmingham. Okay, so it's just about halfway between Cornwall, where our friends from Cornwall are, and Manchester. Birmingham is south, right there kind of in the middle. Now, the one we were looking at in November, the way that scheduling was working out with the UKCL and some things that they were doing, they were building their schedule around. It turned out that one is not going to be available for a major, but there are other opportunities that are going to be made to play, and we'll let you know what those are. So as far as an ACO Europe major, where we thought it was going to be 2 that were going to be 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring, it looks like there are going to be more UKCL opportunities that we can participate in, that we can be a part of, and our players can be a part of. And those are going to happen between now and then being March. So March, Birmingham is the one to focus on right now. More details on that as far as the venue and everything else. So we're going to a brand new city in the UK. Birmingham is pretty cool. We passed through there kind of on our way up towards Manchester. Looking forward to making the stop there this time, possibly checking out a football match as well with our friends the Baileys. So
we'll get the official venue announced, as well as the official dates in the coming week.
Yeah.
Too.
So as you plan for Europe, plan for March if you want to go to the ACO Europe Major. As we unveil some of these other events that you can go to that they are putting together, they might be in a city that you would like to visit, so you can make your plan to do that and pick up a couple of them. Instead of just looking at 2, you could be looking at 4 or 5 opportunities to shoot across the pond if you've got the time and the treasure. So that's all I would tell you. So
the treasure is going to be important. I'm going to tell you.
Exact details have got to be coming soon about Birmingham in March. We've been getting asked about it for a long time. We will. Ozzy Osbourne is from Birmingham. I know that. So it's bat free in Birmingham. Clinton Bilo, what's up, fella? Have you gotten some rest after your weekend? Man, oh man, that dude is a journeyman. He got it done.
Bilo has done the job with IMF. Way to go, Clinton.
Well done, man. I'm gonna start calling him. Maybe I used to call Priest the Snowman for driving the truck, but I think maybe I'll call Clinton the Snowman because I do think he has doesn't he have his hound dog with him when he travels? Right on. And he sings a little country music on his way. Hey, it's a little different form of the taco tonight because, as we said, our gear is spread all over the place, but we're looking forward to picking things up and running with them this weekend. It's going to be a big weekend at Legends, Bryan, Texas, College Station, just outside Texas A&M, and you're going to be there while the students are there. Last time we were there, they were on spring break. We had the entire town to ourselves. I would like to have had the entire town, maybe with a few folks to party with from Texas A&M. And I will tell you something: if you are not a Texas A&M fan, zip it while you're in town because everybody else is down to the everybody. Just trust me, everybody, human and otherwise, Texas A&M. So have a good time. It's going to be a big time. It always is. And again, don't forget, majors are now on sale up through the next couple of months. So check that out at AmericanCornhole.com. The registration has been updated so that the so-called early registration or late registration is not part of the deal anymore. Online registration will be regular cost plus fees. It closes now on the Sunday before the event. Singles, $40 in advance. At the door, $60. Doubles, $80 in advance. At the door, $120. Women's, seniors, co-ed, $30. On-site, $40. Juniors, free and free. Hopefully that takes care of everything you need to know.
And the only thing I can say is there's a lot of good majors out there. And if you've got one specific that you want to get to, because we are signing up new certified officials every day. We're already surpassed last year's COs.
Cool.
With
lots more to go.
Whitney and Amber and the team that's doing that, and lots more to go. So make sure you don't shut yourself out of a tournament by not getting your ticket.
And also look at some of the new cities that we're going to that maybe you haven't been to. Chad and Kim, I'm looking at you. I know they're going to be there this weekend at Legends. But, add a day on the front or add a day on the back and let us know what you liked about the city, something you found that might have been a secret little nugget or something. So that's really what this is all about. We are going to continue to have majors that are, maybe different days of the weekend. We'll have a 3-day major. We've got the super major in Owensboro, Kentucky coming. Some indoor-outdoor stuff again. One of the things we are doing is we're working up symbols to put on the save the date schedule that we can update to let you know if there is going to be, for instance, an outdoor component to a major so you can plan accordingly for heat or cool or whatever that is or whatever bags you might want to bring.
Yep.
But those codes will be out there and just little keys to give you an idea of how we're trying to change it up and continue to make it interesting for you. And we'll find out just who the best players really are when we get down to it.
Oh, and Andy, by the way, this is for Andy. Andy Blada.
Nice.
Down at OCC the other week, doing a great job helping us broadcast from there.
All right, very good. And I was throwing my IMFs, another nod to Clinton here, and thanks. I was throwing my IMFs, and a couple of the guys in Buffalo borrowed a couple of my sets. One of the ones of the abstracts that I did, they borrowed one and took them and warmed up, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, where'd those go? And they ended up getting turned back in and almost got sold out from under me from the main table. So I've still got them. But I got my custom bags. If you've got your custom bag maker out there, no matter what your company is, put some comments down there. And if you want to throw a shout out, put them in there.
Yeah, one last thing, Finn, it just popped into my head is Adaptive Cornhole. Adaptive Cornhole will be in Hamilton, Ohio. I think that's our next one that we're promoting and going to be at. We actually had a fun little event go on with Matt Davis down in Owensboro where we were
the Special
part of the
Olympics.
Special Olympics there. So there was over 500 athletes that were there. And Matt and crew, I think Eric Hopjohn had a chance to actually be a part of that with Matt Davis, and helping showcase cornhole to that community.
Right. And again, it's all about growth. Going to different cities, all about growth. Adaptive cornhole, all about growth. Ultimately developing more with the AAU, all about growth. Anything we can do to grow the sport, and I always say bring more people to the game and the game to more people. That's really what it's all about. And it means we go places we've never been before. We don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how it's going to go, but it can't go anywhere without you. So give it a shot and look forward to a huge season 20, working our way, like I said, towards Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know that, let's see. Oh, who was it? Oh, Adam Gilbert just said any new majors added. He must have tuned in right after we mentioned that. Fort Walton Beach.
Your backyard, dog.
Yeah. But that's a terrible day for me. No, that's an inside joke. No, Fort Walton Beach, early November 1 and 2, has just been added. So that was the one that we were able to kind of recreate the Florida experience that we lost in Panama City Beach with the sale of the venue. So Fort Walton Beach, Adam, is one to be planning for November 1 and 2. More details coming on that and everything else. But we're going to wrap up this edition of the Taco. Congratulations again to our bag winners, our survey winners. All of that you'll find down in the comments. And also you're going to find Time to Phil in the comments as well, because he's got some thoughts on who's going to take everything down at Legends in Bryan, Texas, just outside Texas and A&M this weekend. So with that note, we will leave you to check out Time to Phil in the comments. Miggy, everybody's throwing out their basement bags. Everybody's throwing them out. 157, Miggy's, all kinds of great comments. So we appreciate that. Continue throwing them out there and recommending them to new people who are joining us in the ACO. But I think it's time to give everyone their Taco Tuesday back, and we will stand, actually, and I will say I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, and he is Frank. Here's the Cornhole Dude, as always, reminding you,
keep on pitching.
What do you say we throw some bags? You want to?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. Have a good Taco Tuesday, y'all.